This is a public service announcement. This is a public service announcement. What you're about to listen to may make you yell, shout, smile, and even laugh out loud. Youth baseball players, coaches, and fans join the Slide Podcast crew on their journey to make baseball fun again. Hear stories from players of all ages, plus tips and tricks from coaches and scouts. Now, if you're ready, give us a loud play ball.
Play ball.
Whoa, that was good. And you guys
really
were in
good.
sync, too. That was good.
28 years.
Hey, you got to be in sync by that time. So, hey, welcome back to the Slide Podcast, everyone. I am your host, Coach Aaron, and today Coach Jen is with us, and we're going to have an amazing show today. But before that, Jen, I have some news.
I'm ready.
Well, you know what's happened this week, right? So I went from being an assistant football coach or flag football coach because I had no intention of being a head coach. Mm-hmm. And now I've been voluntold I'm the head coach now. So, I signed up for that.
I didn't know that. Congratulations.
Yes, so now I'm the head coach. Yep. Guess what I did, though? The first move as head coach, jerseys hadn't been ordered yet.
You fired the assistant coach.
Well, I was by myself, so yeah, I didn't do that. But I changed the team name.
Okay. What
to
was
the
it?
Miami Dolphins.
Oh, my God.
It was the Bengals. Oh, but it's the Dolphins now.
You must have some pull because usually there's no change in stuff once you have it.
Listen, before they wanted me to sign that enormous contract, I had some fine print I needed them to abide by. And believe me, they were totally okay with giving me what I wanted.
I bet.
They didn't give me any money, though. I had some money on there, and they didn't give me any of that. But then
maybe next time.
I had a conversation, and I have been invited to join the board.
Really?
Yes.
Welcome.
Yes. I thought you would. I don't know. It's not official. It's not official. We just had some conversations. And guys, I always give Jen down the road because she's the softball commissioner. But yes, I did. But you know what? I complain about stuff every year because I don't agree with how things are ran. So might as well be a part of the change, right? That's perfect for the show.
If you can't beat them, join them.
Yeah. Well, look, we're gonna be the Dolphins, and I know we're gonna get flagged for team celebrations. But listen,
I don't think they do that.
This is a kids' game, and we about to. So. I'm gonna tell you, we're gonna designate the last 10 minutes of every practice on end zone celebrations.
You should.
Wow.
I'm gonna come to your games.
Listen, we're the Dolphins. You saw what they did this past year.
Yeah.
Don't shake your head like that, Jim. Don't do it.
I'm sorry.
Don't do it.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. And there's a lot of stuff going on in today's free agency, too, by the way. Like a lot of moves happening for football.
Oh, yeah. What did I see? Somebody just went to the Steelers.
Yeah. Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson went to the Steelers. Holy cow.
Mm-hmm.
That's different. He's getting old, though, isn't he?
He's
up there.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how him and Coach Tomlin, how they mesh together and see if he can get an offensive coordinator that'll actually use the dude. But he's in the AFC, so I'm not cheering for him to succeed. So, I mean, and for all the Buffalo fans out there right now, and I know this is a youth baseball podcast, but I know there's a lot of Buffalo Bills fans because I've talked to them. You've lost most of your whole team, so can't wait to play you guys. Yeah, that's my nanner boo boo.
Nanner.
All right, Jen, anything new with you?
Oh man, I think I'm going to win a few games this year in softball. I coach my daughter's 6U team, and we're looking stronger than we did at this point last year. So I'm really excited about that. And at this age, as long as you have,
coach.
That's what we'll say. I have a good player in the circle, and I have a good player at first, and that's really all you need at this point. And they can put the bat on the ball. So, yeah, we start in 2 weeks, I believe, with games, 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh wow,
that's about it.
Flag don't start until after spring break for us.
I think we have one game right before spring break, and then we take that break.
Yeah.
So.
Well, hey, look, we're pulling for you. Mm-hmm. So I know it's been a challenge for you. I know losing is you're a competitor.
But you know why we lost, and I'll stick to this, is because I moved everybody around in positions. It's 6U softball. I put them anywhere, everywhere. I didn't really care about the lineup. I'm not doing that this year. This is Callie's. She's one of the older ones on the team now, so we move up to 8U next year. I want her to have some successes and some wins, and so.
Well, things start getting a little competitive at 8U though. Like they got to get ready.
I know.
So, well, hey, if you're listening, we have now announced youth banana ball tournaments, Jen. Like, we've been talking about this. I've been having to keep my mouth shut for over a year and a half now. And
you keep saying that, guys. Aaron, but like you say, I have to keep my mouth shut. I really can't say this, and then you spill it every time.
I don't. I just drop little hints. Okay. But now it's out there. Like the banana's out of the bag. The banana's out of the bag. First tournament. Yes, and for everyone that has questions, I do work for the Savannah Bananas. I am the youth banana ball director, so super pumped and excited. And it was funny, I was talking to Nexus Mounts, the lady that works at Nexus Mounts, and I was telling her about it a few weeks ago, and she was like, you know what? You said that on like episode 5 or something, that you were going to pitch the idea to the Bananas. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. And that's how I got the position. Yep. So, plus they saw some value in a little bit of the work that I did. So anyway, so come to Cleveland, come see us August 7th through the 10th. Day 1 is banana ball camps with all the big bananas and the party animals. The real players will be there. Day 2, 3, and 4.5 will be all tournament play. Championships will be done by 3:30 on Saturday, and the finale is every team that plays in this tournament gets 50 tickets to come see us play the big game at the MLB Stadium in Cleveland on Saturday night. So, incredible event. It's going to be fun. I get the opportunity to screen teams now and make sure that we don't have any like ultra competitive teams coming, or if they are, they understand we're coming to have fun. So it's been a blast. So still got spots available, at least as of today, and this is about a month out. So if you haven't signed up by the time you're hearing this, I don't know what you're waiting for. So,
yeah.
All right, let's get into the show today. So today, we're joined with 2 guests from about 2.5 hours down the road from us, Jen, the co-founders of the Lead Center of Youth out of Atlanta, CJ and Kelli. How are you guys doing?
Doing great.
Awesome. How you guys doing?
Good. We're doing good.
Y'all are busy.
What's that?
Y'all are busy.
We are.
We try to stay busy. So
good stuff though. Good stuff.
We're constantly finding ways to interact with kids, and Jen's always been a community leader, I would say, and
thank you.
A coach, and that's what all I've done too for the last 6 years. We've been in the same I guess you would say like community recreational. Circles. Yeah. And so yeah, we just found each other, and we like hanging out with kids.
Awesome.
I am one big kid though, so that's look for everyone that's riding in their cars. Look at the eye black. You have to go check it out on YouTube. Got creative today, but yes. So Kelli, you said CJ's a big kid.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. Well, you know, why should we grow up though? I mean, like being an adult, it's not fun.
I think we got tricked into growing up because it's not what I thought it was going to be.
Same.
You know how many times I've said that to my daughter? See, told you. It's not fun being an adult.
Yeah.
All those conversations that mom and dad were having that you couldn't hear and you wanted to. Bet you don't want to be in them conversations now, do you?
Yeah, at all. All
right, so you guys are the co-founders of the Lead Center of Youth in Atlanta. So, all right, we got an acronym in the name, so we got to learn about that a little bit. But tell us what you guys do and what this is about.
So LEAD stands for Launch, Expose, Advise, and Direct.
Okay.
And we serve about 250 youth here in the city of Atlanta, focusing on Black youth who are underperforming in the grades of attendance, behavior, and grades, and using the methodology of sport-based youth development to help them overcome what we call the 3 curveballs that threaten their success. And that's crime, poverty, and racism. And we use the sport of baseball for boys and tennis for girls.
Awesome. Okay. Well, how did you guys get started? Like, where did this come from? Let's start at the beginning. Like, I mean, CJ, let's just tell everybody a little bit about yourself to start us off with.
Yep. So I was born and raised here in Atlanta. Many people know about Atlanta. They think about it being the home of the civil rights movement. It's the birth city of Martin Luther King Jr., but a lot of other amazing people, men and women. And I was born in Northwest Atlanta to mom and dad have always been in my life, and they're still married today, but there was a lot of trauma within the house because I was born into poverty, saw them work to working class status, but it was just it was very tough, and I wasn't born into a family that had strong social connections within the community. So without influence and affluence, the chances of being successful in life are going to be very tough. Fast forwarding, so I was born in 76, but fast forwarding to 2024, if you're born in poverty here in Atlanta, you have a 4% chance of making it out.
Wow.
So my escape was baseball. And so I started watching the Cubs in 1984. I'll never forget
Harry Carey.
Yeah.
So 84, like all summers, very hot. Summertime, didn't really have, that I knew of, any parks and recreation activities. So for me, my parks and rec was watching Cubs games with my granddad. Afterwards, I would go out and imitate my favorite players. Gary Matthews Sr. was my favorite player. So I would throw rocks up in the air, hit them. My aunts finally got together because they said the final straw, when they knew I had to get in organized baseball, I got some styrofoam cups and cut them and put them on my wrist to make them wristbands.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I wouldn't even, I saw the things on their arms. I'm trying to figure out where they get all this stuff. So I just had to improvise.
That's amazing. I love it.
I love that story too.
Oh my gosh.
Look, I was at Wrigley Field. I'm talking about, I had everything. I was Gary Matthews. You couldn't have told me otherwise. But so also too in 84, Run DMC came out. With their first album. Jesse Jackson ran for president, and Michael Jordan was drafted by the Bulls out of North Carolina. And so this was just an amazing year. They got me on a team at Cascade Youth Organization in Southwest Atlanta. So that's very important because I lived in Northwest Atlanta, which was more of a poverty-stricken community.
Sure.
Southwest Atlanta was more middle-class African-American. So that's where Maynard Jackson lived, who was the first black mayor in the South of a major city. Ambassador Andrew Young, Hank Aaron, all of these amazing people.
So really more middle and upper class.
So middle and upper class for African Americans. So my first baseball coach was Emmett Johnson Sr., who was the chairman of the Atlanta Public Schools Board of Education. And Atlanta is an amazing place, but the chairman of our school board is more powerful than the mayor because the school board owns more assets than the city of Atlanta.
Oh wow!
So just even right there, I'm black, I'm poor, but my coach is Emmett Johnson Sr., who's the chairman of the Atlanta Public Schools Board of Education. And so I'm playing on this team, the Cascade Youth Organization Braves. And even when I tell Kelli this, she kind of was like, are you serious? So I'm in school in the inner city of Atlanta, but I go to the baseball field and Coretta Scott King is there, the late wife of Dr. King, Maynard Jackson, Zenona Clayton, all of these civil rights leaders. They're not at every game.
Yeah.
But there are games that they're at because they live in the community, and anybody that was playing during those times, it's like, yeah, of course that they were there. So anyway, I fast forward and I go on and I get drafted out of high school because of the connection that I had with TJ Wilson, who was an Atlanta Police Department officer. And I got my first batting lesson because he drove me to my lessons in Forsyth County. We can unpack that a little bit later on, but that was a scary place.
Right.
He paid for the lessons as well. And then Derek Stafford was my travel ball coach. He was my first travel ball coach, another prominent African-American man. He was an NBA referee. So, there would be times where I would play my baseball games, but sometimes on our off days, he would be working and we would go to a Hawks game when they played the Bulls. So myself and other teammates, we would meet Michael Jordan. So all of these things that I dreamed of wanting to do because of these three black men, I knew I could do. But fast forwarding, played in college, played in the Cubs organization. But what I did not have that didn't allow me to have the long-lasting career that I should have had was work ethic, which is what we focus on the most within LEAD. But I also didn't have the advocacy that I needed because I do know that there were some doors that were closed for me, not giving me the benefit of the doubt, respect, and trust because of my skin. So
okay.
But I'll bring it to a close. In 2007, Stan Conway, a white man, I was coaching his middle school age white son, and Stan told me that there was a decline of blacks in baseball, and he couldn't understand why I wasn't doing anything about it. So I just had some restless nights for several nights. Finally just told Kelli I got this vision to start a nonprofit called LEAD.
I just got chills. I don't know if anybody else did, but
I do
oh my
too.
gosh, that's awesome.
I do
Keep going,
too.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Kelli has built this into this, but it's the foundation of why we started LEAD was because Stan, a white man, challenged me and convicted me to do more for black youth in the inner city of Atlanta beyond what was done for me.
Mm-hmm.
And an important piece about that challenge was we pushed back to say, okay, yeah, we're not doing anything, but it costs money to do something. And what I love about Stan's next step was he said, you're right. And he came with the sponsorship. So he told us to put a budget together. Now, you got two people who, African-American, grown up in families of meager means, growing up in poverty. He asked us to put a budget together. And we're like, I don't know what something, I know how to add up how many uniforms and all this kind of stuff. But when we finally put it together, it was like $40,000. And I was like, this white man ain't finna give us no 40. He don't know us like that. We don't have a business plan. Like, I knew enough about business to know that there was some processes and protocols that we weren't checking the box on.
Of course, yeah.
But I appreciate Stan so much because he gave us that benefit of the doubt, respect, and trust, and he believed in us. And not only did he support us with $40,000 worth of seed money, he gave us 60 because I figured I bet he thought they don't know they need probably 20 or 30% more than what they're actually asking for. So, but that was a very exciting time for us back in 2007 when we received that sponsorship and support and that vote of confidence from Stan, and we've grown that seed money into a $1.6 million organization today.
Wow. Congratulations. That is amazing. That is, and when you think about your purpose, it's all for the betterment of this country, this world. I mean, that's, I got cold chills again, Jen. Like, all right.
Is he still involved in the daily processes, or Stan?
He's not. We stay in touch from time to time, but he is very successful in real estate, and
Gotcha.
That's one of the things that even happens in the nonprofit space. There's so many needs, and so for us, one of the things that we had to prove to him that we could do is we could keep it going without him. But he helped us to lay a foundation, because even beyond the money, sponsorship and advocacy is so important. I believe that Black youth, specifically in Atlanta, are over mentored and over coached and under sponsored and under advocated for. So, at the end of the day, hitting a baseball it's not that hard. I'm not saying it's something that you can do overnight, but what good is it for me to put in the work as a Black youth to play the game if I'm not going to have people that are going to advocate for me? And that advocacy is so important because, there are people that are afraid of Black boys. From a women's perspective, Black girls, even in tennis. And so these are just experiences that we've had. So as a coach, we got to make sure that they are protected. And so that's what Stan did for us is by the time Stan said, hey, listen, we're going to meet with such and such at this time, we knew we were going to be getting the benefit of the doubt, respect, and trust.
You know what? That is so important. Benefit of the doubt. As simple as that is, and if you're listening to this right now and you're not sure what benefit of the doubt is you're innocent. You're innocent to begin with. Give them the benefit that they had the right intentions. Give them the benefit that they were doing what was best for you. There's so many times where, we just don't give, kids in general the benefit of the doubt. Kids are the most purest things until adults mess the kids up, right? And that's just my heart and belief, and so I love it. All right, well, I'm going to break this tension really quick.
No, it's just very heavy. I love it. It's
all
great.
All right, CJ, you grew up in Atlanta. Kelly, where'd you grow up?
So I was born in Atlanta. I was here till about 5 years old. So there's this thing here in Atlanta called being a Grady baby.
Oh, I thought you were about to go where I was going, but go ahead.
I've been a Grady baby, so that's being born at Grady Hospital. And literally during the time that we were born, being born at Grady means that you were basically Black and poor. But I was born at Georgia Baptist, which really meant the same thing. But CJ, nobody talks about being a Georgia Baptist baby in Atlanta, but that's where I was born.
Okay.
My parents got divorced when I was about 5, and so I had to move with my grandma about an hour east to Oglethorpe County outside of Athens, Georgia. So I grew up farm, of which I know how to plow, I know how to till, I know how to do all that stuff. So
love it.
It's really country mouse and city mouse a little bit.
Love it. Look, I grew up in the country on a pig farm, and it wasn't uncommon for me to come out and walk down this little trail to my grandmother's house, and they're preparing a sow or something.
Yep.
All right, so here's where I was going, and for our young listeners out there, don't look this up. Actually, you know what I did? I just invited every one of them to look it up.
Look it up.
I did. All right, CJ, you ever attended a Freaknik?
Oh yeah,
Freaknik.
I'm pleading the fifth. He didn't say he did. I'm pleading the fifth.
All right, does it still go on?
No, it's, when it happened, I think that it just really caught a lot of people by surprise as far as city leaders. I think they underestimated the organization behind it. So it's very similar to Daytona Beach. I never went there. Yeah. But what happened was they had to allow it to keep going because it was bringing so much money into the city.
I bet. Yeah.
But then it just got to a point where it just became a safety issue. So by the time it started to end, Kelly and I were married. So neither one of us. The last time we experienced Freaknik, we got caught in traffic one day. I was picking her up from work. But I used to go.
That's what he says, Kelly. That's what he says.
Seriously. So we got married. We got married in 97. And so after he had come home from playing ball and had been done with ball, I was working at Grady Hospital.
Okay.
And going to Georgia State University. So he came to pick me up one night from work, and it took us hours to get home. And it was strange because we're sitting here 20 and 22 years old. We're married. We got married at 19 and 21. And here we are complaining about these kids. I'm like, we're kids, but not really. So it was kind of surreal to be in that situation.
That's fun. So I grew up on the 90s was all hip hop for me. And so the Freaknik lured Too Short to the East Coast. And so, look, I love West Coast. And when the East Coast stole him, I was like, really? And here I am just in South Carolina listening to Too Short. So, Jen, do you know who Too Short is?
I don't know that name. I know a lot of the 90s rappers, but I'm assuming he's one of the, like, I don't know. Just tell me who he is.
You were about to say something. No, he's not Two Live Crew. Stupid. But I mean, look, I'll prove my loyalty to that 90s hip hop, but Too Short, you should look him up. Don't play him in front of the kids, though.
No.
Don't play him in front of the kids. He does a lot of rhyming, but not on an elementary level or anything like that.
So, Jen, just cut your teeth on Blow the Whistle.
Okay.
Hey, one of the Bananas have Blow the Whistle as the walk-up song.
Blow the Whistle.
Way.
Just a small piece of it, though. Just a small piece.
Exactly.
All right. But no, so like listening to a lot of that music growing up, like I was listening to, a lot of this underground, like Too Short. Then you had his producer Ant Banks, and then all of the other 90s. Like I was suburbia. I'd say, again, I grew up on a farm, but I was definitely middle class growing up. So I heard about all of these stories being told, and that's what I loved so much about that music. Mm-hmm. Like you guys were living it, of course. So, all right. So you guys start Lead. How are you getting in touch with these kids? So how are you finding out which kids need that extra attention? Like, is it through the school board?
Yeah, so we have a partnership with Atlanta Public Schools here in the city of Atlanta. And when we talk about Atlanta, there is Metro Atlanta, which is multiple counties that make up the metro, but we are specifically in the city of Atlanta. And our motto is we scout the counted out. Again, that's Black boys on the baseball side who are underperforming in the areas of grades, attendance, and behavior, because we want to be that positive approach to discipline for our school administrators and our teachers. There is a real thing as the school to prison pipeline, and it is a very subjective thing. And sometimes children are put in that pipeline really to no fault of their own, but because of stereotypes. And so for us, we want to come in and say, before you send this child to alternative school, let them be a part of our programming. Let's give them something positive that they don't want to lose that will change their behavior for the better. So we go in and we scout those kids out and give them an opportunity to be a part of this brotherhood that we've created through Lead, through our rookie league in 3rd grade through 5th grade, our junior ambassador program in middle school, and our ambassador program in high school.
Awesome. So if I join Lead, what does that mean for me? What am I getting for that, for me joining?
So again, and I can unpack it, but you're going to get the benefit of the doubt. You're going to get respect. You're going to get trust, even so much so that people are associating the color of red, which is a very strong Coca-Cola red, and associating that with our ambassadors. Oftentimes, we got people that will be out and about, whether they're in a mall or even a restaurant. We've even had people that'll be on our local transit and take pictures with the ambassadors, so they become celebrities. Yeah. And Kelly and I we are not apologetic when it comes down to receiving awards and recognition, not for ourselves, because we've been able to accomplish a lot, but it gives a sense of protection to our boys. Again, when you start thinking about a demographic of individuals that are counted out, the last thing that they need from a coach or a mentor is somebody who is humble to a fault. So it gives them a lot of protection. I was just at one of our partner elementary schools today, Scott Elementary, and they had a pep rally for the basketball, baseball, and tennis team, of which the baseball and tennis team is a part of our organization. Mm-hmm. And so one of the boys, he came through and he remembered me because last year I was there at the physical education class. And he said, he said, aren't you the baseball coach? And I was like, I am. He said, I want to play baseball. He said, but I don't know how to hit. I'm not good. I said, well, I know how to teach. I'm really good at it. And I had my ambassador ring. I don't have it on right now, but I held it up to him and he just looked at it. He saw all the diamonds. And then right there, he said, I want to play. So, that's what we're able to do, is to make sure that all the activities are well resourced, a trauma-informed approach, and they're constantly always around experts.
Wow.
So what are some of the ways that our school system is failing these kids? Like, what's some of the red flags that you see that the teachers are able to maybe hone in on and then get you guys involved with?
So the first thing I would say is, low expectations. I think that has a lot to do with it. Also, the taking away of movement. We were just having this conversation earlier today about how important just movement is for cognitive ignition. Like, you learn better when you're active versus sitting in a seat for 8 to 10 hours all day. And so, we have situations here in Atlanta, I think, and across the country, where physical education is really under attack in schools, where kids aren't even getting required physical education time, during school. So for me, I feel like from a system standpoint, just taking away that movement, which is when we come in, we are offering, especially here in Atlanta, by offering baseball at the elementary school and at the middle school level. When we came as a partner with Atlanta Public School, there was no middle school baseball. So there was really no feeder program for our high school teams, which is why our high school teams weren't really good. Right. There wasn't a strong Parks and Rec presence at that middle school level. So we filled a void there by providing that, and now going deeper into elementary school with our rookie league, providing that opportunity for, you talked about 6U for your daughter, right? Playing softball, Jen. So, and you're like, they can put the bat on the ball. They can, we have youth, like CJ always says, if Lead tried to exist when he was playing at CYO and when he was playing baseball, we would get laughed off the block, because all of those processes and pieces of development were already in play when he was, a kid. And for various things that have happened, in the Black community, economically, socially, those systems of development and recreational league play and development have been gutted from our communities. And we're just coming back trying to revive what was working. Yeah.
Wow. So you said something that caught my attention. Gym class, like that. Look, if you wanted me to enjoy school, give me a longer gym class.
This is what it's going away. It's like, feels like nationwide. It's going away. Like, if you don't want to participate, then you can sit on the bleachers. As long as you dress out, you can sit on the bleachers and get a good grade. You don't have to learn how to jump rope and hopscotch and do all the things that we had to do in elementary school.
That's because educators are letting these kids just not participate. Look,
I don't know.
When you're in school,
I don't know what it is.
You're here to listen to a teacher. If you're listening to this right now and you're opting out and you're choosing not to participate, we're not the right show for you. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Kelli.
I also think that, our educators are just being, overtaxed on all of this testing,
Oh, my gosh.
That's true.
We're putting all mandates on educators.
And assessments and testing.
Test scores. And, when your job is on the line, you know what I'm saying, for some test scores. And if I can finagle the system a little bit and take you out of PE, that's an extra 45 minutes or an hour of class time so we can drill you some more. It's just so unfortunate. Like, don't even get me started on how the whole public education system needs to be revamped.
All right, that sounds like China. Like we're just a factory producing
Stand in line.
education. Like, yeah.
So, and I mean,
I'm sorry. I don't mean to bring up China in the middle of this, but that's just what it sounds like.
Well, I mean, the kids are suffering. They are really suffering. I mean, so when we come in and we offer, that level of recreation and skill development in the work that we do, I mean, this is a place where they can gain confidence in learning a new skill.
Right.
So many of our boys have not played organized baseball before ever, which is crazy. You know what I'm saying? But when we come in and just like, one of our kids told CJ, I don't know how to hit. Imagine how much confidence he can gain by learning this new skill in baseball that is also transferable to other environments like the classroom.
So here's the other thing, though, that's unfortunate is football was created to teach war strategy.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it was created in the Northeast in Ivy League schools to teach war strategy. Basketball was created in the YMCA, Young Men Christian Association, to teach teamwork. Baseball was created being the first sport that was invented by Americans in the mid 1800s. And it was so to play that sport meant that you were American. If you did not play baseball, that meant that you were not American. And so now even with all of these sports, so there was a reason why they were created. It wasn't just for recreation. It was for all of the other social, emotional learning things that came along with it. But something like baseball being America's favorite pastime, I mean, that was the case because when we were going to war, that was the thing that people were able to do to keep the morale.
Right.
But even as specifically as we start to look at it from a race standpoint, these things were created and the Negro Leagues had to fight to be in it, not because of the baseball, but they were also trying to be seen as American.
Yeah.
So now I just feel like if black boys, so a black kid telling me that he can't play baseball, you may not become a major leaguer, but for some people, you're not American if you've never played baseball.
Okay.
And so that's the thing that keeps me up at night is boys that can't sit across sometimes in an interview and talk about their childhood and say they played baseball. They oftentimes may not get the benefit of the doubt, respect, or trust.
Yep. Wow. That's crazy. Hey, do me one quick favor. Kelly, will you shift that camera just to include CJ a little bit more? There we go. Tell him to get a little closer.
Close to me. So
it's okay. Look.
See, that was him. That was him. He should have shifted closer to me.
Tree to
Is he mad at you?
16 years. He must have been in the doghouse last night. I don't know.
Listen, we were trying to hide our Christmas tree because our daughter, our youngest daughter, told us she was going to make it a Valentine's Day tree, and that never happened.
Hey, well, look, what's the
St.
next
Patrick's
holiday
Day
coming?
tree.
St.
Patty's Day.
We still have some time.
You can use it. Well,
Easter,
right, so
whatever.
That's pretty crazy, CJ. I mean, I obviously didn't grow up in that neighborhood, and so hearing the things that go on versus my reality is such a shock. And
let me just say,
yeah, go ahead.
Let me just say that as growing up in my reality, with all the respect, I never wanted your reality because my reality was what I thought was the best. I mean, being black in Atlanta, we had baseball. We were like, I'm right here with civil rights leaders. The people, the access that was there was amazing. We had Atlanta Public Schools was very, very strong. It really, I didn't want your reality, specifically you being a white man, until travel ball came into place.
No, I can understand.
During the rec days,
I already know.
Yeah, during the rec days, it was like, man, I'm good. But when it came down to now having to get into the business of baseball, there were times where it was just like, I wish I were white, but because I will never be white, I got to have a white coach. And so my decisions were then made from that.
Wow. So I was born in 77, but I don't remember travel ball when I was young. Like, I don't know if I just didn't have visibility to it, or like I played through high school, but I didn't, maybe it just didn't exist here where I was growing up. But yeah, I can totally see it, man. You know, that travel ball is, you know, generally speaking today, is every pissed off, you know, dad starts a team, and then he has now this wonderful power of picking all of his favorite kids to be a part of it. And, you know, I totally get it. Totally get it.
And not to mention sucking up every ounce of your family's discretionary income, if there is such a thing.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah. Listen, I have a daughter that's been through competitive cheer.
Oh, you know.
Oh, I have felt it, ma'am. Please pray for me. Pray for me. I'm still paying for it, and she's about to graduate. So, Lord have mercy.
I hear you.
But yeah, totally get it, and I think it's incredible, like kids, because there's so much to learn about in the game of baseball. I mean, I think, you know, from a sports and what I follow personally, I love football. Football is my number one favorite to watch on TV. But from a learning perspective, like, baseball is just it. Like, it's, I mean, you know, it's real world to fail more times than you succeed.
All right.
It's real world. Like,
yeah, CJ, I think you touched on that just a minute ago, how baseball really flows into life decisions. So within Lead, how do you relate with these kids, with just how you treat them on the field and how they should be treated in life, as far as, like, you know, their successes and their failures go, not only on the field but off the field as well? Because I'm sure y'all do a lot of mentoring as far as that goes.
Yes.
Yeah, and it takes money to be able to get the training required to really show up to have a trauma-informed approach. You know, my experience with being coach was a lot of verbal abuse and a lot of pushing, a lot of physicality. And so that became my default as a coach, you know, not to the extent of putting my hands on kids, but, you know, definitely raising my voice. We have been able to be even more effective, but a lot of the training that we get to have a trauma-informed approach costs money.
Now, do me a favor. You're saying trauma-informed approach. Now, I think I know what that means. Can you, like, maybe expand on that just a little bit? Because I think that's very important.
So when we talk about having a trauma-informed approach, it's because the youth that we serve have experienced multiple ACEs, or adverse childhood experiences.
Okay.
We're talking about the incarceration of a close relative, parent. We're talking about having somebody die, whether by natural causes or violently, or being in the foster care system, or just all of the things that crime, poverty, and racism bring into your life as a child. These adverse childhood experiences wear on you. And if you have multiple ACEs that you're dealing with relentlessly, trauma physically changes how our brain works. So, you know, when I say that, you know, people are like, oh, yeah. I mean, no, if you see a kid's brain that has had a quote unquote normal childhood, where they've had, not that they've not had any issues, but most importantly, they've been cared for with food, with shelter, and they've had responsible, caring adults around them who have acted as a buffer to all of the bad stuff that can happen to them.
Right.
Well, not that nothing bad happens, but they have an adult who says, you know what, it's not the end of the world. We're going to be okay. We're going to make it through it. Yep. But you have a child who has not had that, even if they've had food and shelter, if they have not had the care of a trusted adult that was there to provide and nurture them, the brain shrinks. It's smaller. And they learn to work more from the back part of their brain, which is called the amygdala, which is where that fight, flight, freeze, flock, all of that survival response comes from. And when you're working from survival mode for everything, the smallest thing is a huge thing. You step on my shoe, you step on my foot, I might want to fight you. So we see youth who have these responses and we say, oh my God, what's wrong with them? What's wrong with them is they have been traumatized to death. Now, listen, not excusing bad behavior, but we have to understand where things come from. So having a trauma-informed approach to coaching youth who we know are going through these things means that we as coaches have to be careful that while we're trying to mentor them and challenge them, that we don't re-traumatize them.
Yeah, and so
that's amazing, because I think so many times, myself included, we've been in a situation where it's been like, you got upset for just something like that, but that approach,
you don't know what they're going through.
That approach right there is good for our listeners to understand. Like, you know what, we don't know what everyone's been through, and no one's been through the same thing that you are. That you have. Sorry, CJ, go right ahead, buddy.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, and that training costs money. So that's not just doing some reading. I mean, you can develop an awareness by reading books. So we're fortunate because we commit to sports-based youth development methodology that we've gotten training through Laureus Sport for Good USA, as well as Center for Healing and Justice, which is based out of Chicago. And so as a result of SBYD sports-based youth development, our impact is measured based on social emotional learning capacities, which includes academic self-efficacy, self-management, contribution, social skills. And so social skills is one of the ones that is very important to me, because I had my very first interaction with a white teen when I was around 15 years old. And it was actually a great experience. Now, based on what I saw on television and heard from people, not necessarily in my household, but from people, I thought that I could never have a relationship with a white person and it would be adversarial, and it wasn't. And it was so, even with us, we're starting out with all black boys, but we have some amazing programming where we put them into relationship with white players. And so let me see, probably, so at a high level, we do something called the barnstorming tour, where we go with our black boys in our program, and we go to suburban and rural parts of Georgia, and we get connected with predominantly white teams in those communities, and then we educate families about the Negro Leagues and barnstorming. Barnstorming was the way that Negro Leagues players had to play because of segregation laws. But barnstorming is also, in that method of play, is how the Negro Leagues took baseball to Canada, Latin America, and Japan.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And also, too, within the Negro Leagues, and this is one of the things where it becomes laughable, because we start talking about getting more blacks into baseball. So right there, that's good. Night games were invented in the Negro Leagues. So full stop right there. Negro League players were playing in the daytime and the nighttime. So yes, they were better because we were playing more. And yes, we were making more money because we were playing more. Also, too, batting helmets were invented in the Negro Leagues.
Really?
Catcher's gear was invented in the Negro Leagues. Player movement. So when we start looking at free agency and all of the player movements that people celebrate now, that was introduced in the Negro Leagues. So, these are some of the things we get a chance to educate families about when we travel.
Well, and going back to the night games, initially, the white owners of the stadiums would have the Negro League teams play after the white teams. And you had to figure, if you're going to play after, those teams, you had to figure out, some way to make that possible. So thus night games.
Wow. Okay. What's incredible about today's youth is, as you guys were talking, I'm thinking about guests that we've had in the past, and again, we're talking to kids, and Jackie Robinson comes up so many times during conversation, whether it's baseball heroes, favorite players, and Satchel Paige. Jacob, I still remember your hero, and Jacob's from out of California, and right around the LA area, and his favorite player is Satchel Paige. And it's so incredible that these guys have not legendary, but legacy continues to just carry on. The Indianapolis Clowns, that was part of the Negro League, right? So, they came up for us at the Bananas, because when we went to Indianapolis last year, we got to go through, I didn't, but the team got to go through, the museum, and got to see a lot of that stuff in Kansas, not Indianapolis, but Kansas City.
Yeah.
And so it's so awesome to hear kids, because anytime I had a kid, Easton, I said, "Who's your favorite baseball player?" And he said, "Jackie Robinson." And I was like, all right, why? Like, I don't believe you until you tell me what makes him so important.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just say that. And he started to spill off all of these different things. And it's so incredible how these guys, they started in the Negro Leagues, and, how that legacy continues to live on. So impressive, very impressive.
Well, it's important that our youth, black and white, know those stories, because so much of who we are and how we feel about ourselves when it comes to being confident in ourselves comes from our history, comes from our traditions, and the legacies that have been left behind. And if we don't share those stories about the Negro Leagues and what those men and women did to be a part of America's game, then we miss an opportunity in the black community for our youth to really see why it's important. You know what I'm saying? To go to navigate towards the game of baseball, but we also miss an opportunity, to show people who have the resources why we need to put more money into the game of baseball, because it is so very expensive. But even as we talk about going across racial lines, making sure that white baseball players understand, like, there is a shared love for this game for all of us, and there is a space for all of us in this game. And even though the Negro Leagues had to start their own separate league in order to just play the game of baseball, it was one of the most uniting leagues, because so many white spectators came to watch those Negro League games. So it's just a beautiful story. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate that we're still having this type of conversation today. I think it's ridiculous. But, if you're a travel ball coach out there, and look, I think we're all being naive if we said it didn't exist still. But, look, take the best players. Don't even bring it to, a skin color. Take the best players. Don't take just who you're closest friends with. So, anyway.
I was going to say, there's a story here in Valdosta where a young man was being removed from the team because he had locks, and was told by his coach that he had to cut his hair because it was touching his shoulder and it was too long. Now, I don't know how much y'all know about black natural hair and locks. It takes a long time to grow locks, right? It's an investment. But the kid was willing to cut them so they didn't touch his shoulders, because he wanted to play baseball so bad. Well, then that wasn't good enough for the coach. The coach said, well, you just got to cut it all together. And he was like, there are other white players on the team who have mullet type haircuts where their hair is touching their shoulders, and you're not saying anything to him. And, luckily, so unfortunately, this kid had to go through that. But luckily for him, he recorded the conversation so that he could share how he was being discriminated against. And it's like you just said, it's unfortunate that we are having to go through this in 2024. But if we don't talk about it, and if we don't deal with it once and for all, we're going to be going through this in 2064.
But that's my point again, is so these black players that are on travel ball teams, if you're a travel ball player and you're black, or if you're a white coach or whatever, at some point there's not any more coaching that you can do. The kid is good enough. We can always learn. Now what you need to be doing as a coach is talking to coaches and giving scenarios around what ifs. Okay?
Right. Okay.
I got a player right now, he has no desire to cut his hair. Here's why he has his hair, of which a coach needs to understand that even also too. And advocate for that player and do all of those different things. I mean, even for us to even come onto your show, there's a style and a way that you have things. So we had to go through that process. Mm-hmm. So it's not just putting a black kid on your team just because he's fast and he's got a good arm. If we had a son that was playing baseball, and we do have daughters that play tennis, at some point it gets beyond your ability to coach our daughters, and then we got to have a conversation on how you're going to be able to advocate for them.
Of course. Well, I think it all comes back to coaches just not taking the time to get to know their players. Mm-hmm. I mean, no matter what, right? I mean, everybody comes from a different background. Everybody comes from something, and I hear horror stories all the time, unfortunately, about different things that go on in youth sports and how ridiculous some things are. And it's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy, Jen. And yeah, go ahead.
I want to know about a success story. So does one kid stand out in your mind as, you came and she's already thinking of somebody?
All right. Well, I watched the Kelly Clarkson interview these two were on, and the dude that was in the military.
Yeah. That was a good one.
He's still in the military, Xavier's, yeah.
Look, and anybody in our military, I'm gonna tell you, I got cold chills all over right now. But that is something. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
I got two very quick ones. One is Austin Evans, who's not a very good baseball player, but really wanted to be a part of our organization because of the leadership. He's now in the process of getting his PhD from Texas A&M. He got his undergraduate from Texas A&M. He's got his master's. He was the off-campus senator for 3 years, freshman through junior year, and he passed a bill to erect the statue of the first African-American graduate from Texas A&M. Will Benson, who's now a starting outfielder for the Cincinnati Reds. He was in our middle school program, and I remember the first day of practice having to remove him from the team. Boys being boys, and so just really, he was very, very talented, an amazing kid, but removed him. He came back and got an opportunity to continue to mentor him all the way through being the 18th pick overall for the Cleveland Guardians. But so that's two, and that's a range between one that wasn't very good in baseball and one who was.
And talking about, since you saw the story about DeXavier's, Aaron, just talking about how what we do in sports is transferable to other areas. He talks about when he was in basic training. Now, when we met DeXavier's, his family was, it was like 7 or 8 of them living in a hotel. You heard the story. It was a tough situation they were in, and he bought into everything we were offering him. We were like, just do what you're told, do what we say, and we promise this is going to work out for you. And he trusted, CJ when he first met him, and then myself. But he talks about when he was in basic training and his leaders in basic training, the officers were trying to get him to quit because he kept, missing the mark on certain drills or exercises, and they would put him in a pit or something, and they would like, just go ahead and hang your helmet outside and just quit. And he was like, all I kept thinking about was all the times that Coach CJ pissed me off and was trying to make me quit lead. And he was like, I kept saying to them, somebody already pushed me to the point of quitting and I didn't break then, so I'm not going to break for you. So just the importance of our roles as coaches and how we lovingly challenge our athletes and how we push them to the brink of wanting to quit, but show them that they have something in them that can overcome even that. Like, that's about life. Yes, it's about sport, but that's about life. And that's why we're in this work, because people have done that same thing for us as mentors. And I know it's cliche when people say, we're just paying it forward. For real, though. We really just paying it forward.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to tell you, talking about fulfillment of the work or where the Lord's put you. Like, I worked for 26 years in the retail business, had some of the most successful years that, I thought I may have had. But once coming over and we started this show and started to see the smiles on some of these kids' faces and started to see these kids grow and parents keep you along the journey. I mean, helping a child grow up into be a major league citizen is see there, CJ, I got you. There's no greater feeling. Like, money can go out the door. Like, that's when you lay down in your bed at night and you feel like you have done something to help someone else's life.
For sure.
And I watch Friends. So Phoebe says there's no such thing as a selfish good deed or something. And when you do a good deed, it does make you feel good. And man, I'm going to tell you, you guys do some great stuff. And I'm sorry, I get off on like these stupid tangents every once in a while. But
that's okay.
Let me ask you, have you guys been to Memphis and been through the Civil Rights Museum at the Lorraine Hotel?
Yeah, we have it. That's one of the things we're looking to start doing, especially even with the barnstorming tour, is to take it from Georgia and then work our way to Memphis and actually work our way all the way to Kansas City. So that's a part of the plan.
Yeah, I've been through that museum, and it is, Jen, if you've never been to Memphis, got to go to this museum. And then you got to go to Graceland. All right. Like, you got to go, pay your thanks to King of Rock and Roll. But that's right. But this museum, it was, I want every one of my kids to go through this museum because, we live in a world where we don't necessarily know and understand. And sometimes it's just very confusing. And, that really summed up a lot. Now, cool parts about the museum, Jen, is you're actually in the Lorraine Hotel where Martin Luther King was assassinated. The building across the street where, I don't remember his name, but the shooter was actually up in a bathroom. And so that building's been turned into a museum as well. And so you can go up, look through that window, and see where he set up his perch to take out Martin Luther King standing out on that balcony. And it's incredible.
I'm sure it's very powerful.
It is. Man, I mean, I think I cried through most of it. It was insane. Yeah. So anyway. Well, cool. So you guys, I heard a lot about core values as you guys were talking on the Kelly Clarkson show. So if you guys want to see these guys on the Kelly Clarkson show as well, go search it on YouTube because it's there. So talk about core values that you teach these kids.
Yeah, so it's excellence, humility, integrity, loyalty, stewardship, and teamwork. And those are the core values that when they become actionable, then they become virtues. And that's work ethic. So when we start talking about work ethic, it's those core values. And that's what I lacked when I was playing baseball and even playing professionally. Had I had at least a half a cup of all of those things, my life would have been different. But, even in the place that I have right now, because of my successes and failures, I get a chance to use my life experiences to teach those things, and I have credibility around it. So it's very important.
And that's where when the Lord puts you in a place and you look back on it and you're like, why, Lord, did you put me in this place? And then you think about how you're using that message now to shape, the youth. I mean, that's why he did it. Sometimes we have those questions and we may not know the answers at the time, but you'll get it at some point in time. I'm sorry. I love those type of messages. So.
Yeah. And I mean, the reason why, teaching core values, because people will ask us, well, why do you have to teach them core values? I mean, when you are growing up in a survival mind state all the time, it's hard to think future. Everything is about now. Everything is about what do I need to do to get what I need now. And so I always think about one of my favorite movies of all time, Les Miserables. So, we look at Jean Valjean, the main character, and he's a good man, but he's hungry and he doesn't have any food. And he breaks the window in the bakery and he steals the food. So now he's a convict, not because he's a bad person, but because he had a need, he couldn't get a job. So, you think about when people are living in, survival, there are circumstances and situations that bring about behaviors in them that they normally would never do if they had the resources that they need. And so it requires a reprogramming. Like, that's one of the things that we do first and foremost when our youth come into our organizations. We let them know, look, we got you. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are things out there that you want in life. We're going to help you put a game plan together. We're going to partner with your family to put this game plan together to help you get there. If you think about it, that's what gangs do. Gangs say, I'm going to take you in. You're going to be
one of us.
I'm going to protect you. I'm going to provide for you. And so we're doing that same thing, but without the criminal aspect to it. But just making sure that they know, we got you. We're going to partner with your family. We're going to partner with your school community. And all of us together are going to put a safety net around you that is not 100% foolproof, but you got to want to not succeed, to not do good. This envelopment of love that we're going to put around you.
Wow. CJ, what's your favorite movie? She just brought up her favorite, so now I got to know yours. And I don't mean to dismiss what you just said, because I
it's all good.
100% agree. Because I'm going to tell you my favorite movie, and I've said this numerous times on the show, I think.
Man, favorite. I mean, I think probably Black Panther, the first one.
Okay. That's a great movie.
Yeah.
Remember the Titans is mine.
Attitude reflects leadership, Captain.
Oh, 100%. Perfection. Perfection is what I stand for. That's right. I'm going to tell you. Denzel Washington, I got cold chills just right now.
Yeah.
Denzel Washington is the man.
Yes, he is.
Jen, what's your favorite movie? Go ahead, Kelly.
I was going to say one part of that movie that I always, get onto our girls about. So our girls play tennis. Mm-hmm. And, tennis, it's like 10 degrees hotter on the court,
right.
Summertime.
Yeah, the clay. That's right.
Yeah, and they'll say, they were like, I just want a water break. I'm like, water? That's like my favorite part to tease them with. So.
Oh, that's so great. Jen, favorite movie?
A League of Their Own.
There you go. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
That works.
Good stuff.
I get on my family's nerves because I know all the words. And so the whole movie, I'm just like quoting it the whole time. And they're like,
you're that person. You're that person.
Yeah,
look, think it in your head, Jen. We don't want to hear it all.
But I have to show my skills.
There's no crying in baseball. All right. I'm going to tell you, look, I love it. I love what you guys do. I think it's honestly, like, who are your sponsors? Because I've seen the list, and I think it would be actually really good for our listeners to hear. Who are your sponsors?
Absolutely. So the Atlanta Braves have been with us for a very long time. So shout out to the Atlanta Braves and the Atlanta Braves Foundation. Georgia's Own Credit Union. Google is a sponsor of ours.
Adidas, and then our home church, Elizabeth Baptist Church, is a very strong supporter. We've got quite a few.
You're going to get us in trouble, Aaron, because we start naming people. And I'm trying
it's okay. Look, they can't think of everybody. Look, I put them on the spot, so I apologize to anybody they didn't mention, but we appreciate you.
I do think we are becoming a community of believers. Benjamin Elijah Mays, who was the president of Morehouse College, and he was the chairman of the Atlanta Public Schools Board of Education as well, prior to Emmett Johnson, my coach. And one of his first major moves was to bring in our new superintendent, Alonzo Krim. Mm-hmm. And Alonzo Krim, an African-American man from California, one of the things that he instituted was a community of believers, getting the corporations to really put their money where their mouth was. And so that allowed us to have a lot of amazing experiences. You can't have fun without funding. Anybody that's out here trying to have fun with kids and for kids and you don't have money, it's not going to happen. So Atlanta is starting to become that community of believers like I experienced when I was a kid in Atlanta.
Look, some of them sponsors, Jen, that they just named, that took a lot of work.
I'm sure.
To get those sponsors. Like,
Absolutely.
I mean, Adidas.
Yeah.
Google.
The Atlanta Braves. Google. For real? Like, give us how you did that.
Sponsored back.
But no, like I know it took hard work, commitment. I'm sure you guys have had a lot of sleepless nights for what you do.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you one of my biggest. I look when I'm flipping through the media and all that stuff. I look for people that inspire me, and so you guys are definitely one of those now. And Deion Sanders is. I love that dude. Yeah. Like, one of my goals is to have Deion on this show this season. But he said something in an interview recently that I saw, and it was about him playing baseball and that black men didn't grow up playing baseball. His dad didn't grow up playing baseball. And so that's why a lot of the youth don't necessarily grow up playing baseball, and you guys are changing that narrative. So
for sure,
huge congratulations to you guys. If there's someone in the Atlanta area right now wanting to get in touch with you guys after listening to this, how do they get in touch with you guys?
So we have a training facility called the Lead Center for Youth that's located in the historic West End community in Atlanta. Okay. Our website is leadcenterforyouth.org. And you can find out more information there about our programs, ways to get involved and volunteer. Spring baseball is kicking off. Yay. Mm-hmm. So our rookie league and our junior ambassador league are starting play this spring. It is a community effort to make our leagues work. So from checking in our students when they get off the bus or they get out of their cars to making sure they have their uniforms right. All those different aspects come into play to make our league run, and we need the community to help us do that.
Wow. And so when you say league, one of the things that's hardest for us up here is finding fields. How do you guys get fields to play on?
So it's funny you say that. So our partnership with Atlanta Public Schools is so important because through that partnership, we have access to their high school fields. So our home field is at Washington High School in the city of Atlanta. It's about a mile west of, I was about to say the Georgia Dome, but the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And so that's one field that we have, but also we do have a relationship with our Parks and Rec department here. And today we just started renovations now that the rain has subsided on a field in Northwest Atlanta, CJ's birth community, where we're revitalizing a field there with the help of the Braves, Google, and Georgia's Own Credit Union, where we'll bring baseball back to that part of the community again. So we're excited about that. So how do we do it? We use, fields that are already in play and create partnerships with people who have ownership of those fields. But we also try to revitalize and reuse what's already in our communities, and it's kind of become an eyesore, and try to, bring it back to life.
That's awesome. I mean, there's no worse thing than riding through a neighborhood and seeing an abandoned baseball field that no one's playing on.
Exactly.
Because, I mean, baseball for anyone, that provides structure. You learn respect because you got to learn how to respect your coach. Because CJ, I'm sure a coach is not always going to tell you what you want to hear. Like, you're going to learn respect from here's what I need you to do, right? And I think that is so important for any kid these days. Yeah. Because everything is set up to just comply with whatever the kids want. And that's not real world. At least not the world that I want to live in. So I think it is incredible what you've been able to do, the two of you and CJ, using your past experiences to continue to help, whether we say it's paying it forward or just honestly doing what the Lord put you here to do. And I think it's incredible. Jen, final thoughts.
I'm gonna have to marinate on this for a little while because it's been so cool. I'm gonna make sure that I take some of the things that y'all have said back to coaching. I do have there's 2 girls on my team specifically that I don't really know their background exactly, and I'm gonna make sure that I find out this week. Just talking about getting to know your players and being sensitive to certain things that they may have, going on, that they're a little bit more quiet on the field. So I'm going to just make sure that I take that little tidbit back to the field this week and get to know them a little bit better. But yeah, I appreciate y'all so much. I'd love to come visit. We're not that far.
I was just going to say, personally, we want to invite you guys to a summer event we have called the Safe at Home Game.
Okay.
This is where we get our alumni together to play a baseball game against law enforcement officials locally here. So we have Atlanta Police Department, APS Police Department, Georgia Tech Police Department. The FBI will be joining us this year, and Fulton County Sheriff's Department. And it's hosted at Russ Chandler Stadium on Georgia Tech's campus. And it started off as a really friendly thing. We thought we were just getting together, but the law enforcement team is very competitive, and they started recruiting guys in their ranks who had played college baseball before. And so they actually beat us 2 consecutive years. And we were like, pump your brakes. So we had to do things. And so was it the last 2 years we won, or just this last year?
They've won 3, we've won 6.
Okay. So yeah, we're getting back. So, but the Safe at Home Game is a huge community event here. We have a great time. Georgia Tech is just a tremendous host for us, allowing us to use their facilities to bring this game to the community. And it's bringing together, what we say are 2 groups in our community that are often misunderstood is Black male youth and law enforcement. And we build those bridges to the point where we even have one of our alums now who for the first time played on the law enforcement team because he's an AP officer. So
very cool.
Yeah.
Come full circle on that one.
Full circle. What's
the dates on that?
So it's August 10th. Yes, August 10th. And so we'll send you guys the information, but would love to have you there. Bring your teams. We'll have a great time.
Okay. All right, so is it a one-day event or a multiple?
It's just one day. It's just one day.
All right. So the 10th, look, I got a good excuse.
Okay.
I'm in Cleveland, Ohio. That's the banana ball
event. It sure is.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, I don't have any plans. I don't have any plans.
You don't have any plans, but we also, if it rains, we also have a rain date of the next weekend. So who knows?
Look, I'm going to pray for rain. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to pray for the Lord to let the corn grow and the green grass. All right. But
that's funny.
Look, I seriously want to come. Look, we'll come down there and we'll interview the kids and we'll have a blast.
For sure. Let's make that happen for sure.
Yeah.
So we'd love to have you guys down there.
I will actually be in Atlanta, Georgia next Friday. So, if it's possible, I may, get with you guys and see how we can connect up. And I'm going down for a podcast. There's a podcast that's based out of Atlanta, Georgia called Pure Athlete.
Okay.
And so
when you say Atlanta, what do you mean? Do you mean Atlanta, or are you talking about Marietta? Or
no, I think it's Atlanta. I have to get more information.
Is Jeff Francoeur part of that?
What's that? I'm sorry.
Jeff Francoeur, is he a part of Pure Athlete?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Jeff Francoeur. Yep.
That's in Atlanta.
Okay, it's in Atlanta. Okay, so if you have the time, just hit us up because our lead center for youth is right in the heart of Atlanta.
Okay.
We'd love to have you come out, take some swings.
Oh, believe me, sign me up. I'll go out there and look like a 46-year-old man that hadn't played in a while. But all right, I'll do that.
That's what's up.
Cool. Well, tell us where we can find you on social media. Are you guys out there?
Yes, we are. We're on Instagram at lead_legacy_ATL.
Okay.
And from there, you can find out all of our other social handles.
Very cool. All right.
Y'all have been a blast to hang out.
This is fun.
So much. It is.
It is fun. I mean, honestly, when we're talking about developing the youth, and preparing them for the future, there's nothing better than that. I mean, because having kids really understand what you're trying to teach them, that's where you get the good stuff from. So
very important.
All right. Well, at the end of the show, you guys started us off, and you get to finish us off. Okay. So it's just how it works out on the show. So we give you guys spotlight. So, all right. So I'm going to thank everyone for listening, tell them where they can find us, and then I'm going to say until next time, and you guys get to say, we will catch you on the slide.
Aaron, are you not going to ask them the one question?
Oh, my gosh. Look, I am so involved in this interview that I was about to forget the one question that we have asked 99.9 guests that we ever had. Actually, no, 100%, Jen, because we did talk about that on that first episode.
We did.
All right. CJ, you're walking up to bat today. What's your walkout song?
Southern Playalistic by Outkast.
Southern Play. That's it? Okay. I got into Outkast a little bit.
I love Outkast.
Yeah.
Look, I was always West Coast. So, like, Andre 3000, his voice, and, like, his voice just,
look,
I'm not a big Jay-Z fan either. And, like, some of the stuff.
Yeah, but, I hear you.
Look, I was Goody Mob, though. Goody Mob's out of Georgia.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Soul Food. I know all about that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You legit.
I got to get my props where I got them, Jen. Don't shake your head.
I just don't know who's East versus West. I have no idea. I like Bone Thugs and Harmony, you know.
West.
Well, that's West Coast.
West. Okay.
That's West Coast. That's West
Because it's got a flow. Yeah. East Coast, just all over the place. Well, no, actually, I'll go back.
Don't do that.
T.I. is pretty good. I like T.I. Look, I'm going to tell you, East Coast, when it comes to DMX, that's all I've been listening to here lately. I even put on the parent advisory edition when we were practicing basketball in the garage for my son.
Oh, my God.
Listen, I love it.
Aaron.
All right, Kelly,
tell us your walkout.
Yeah, we've set you up here.
I'm sitting here thinking, I'm trying to figure out what, I'm going to hold it down for the ladies, and I'm going to say I'm Every Woman.
Who sings that?
Whitney.
Yeah.
Whitney. Okay.
Whitney Houston.
Yes.
Right. That's right. I had to sing it in my head first before I could get it, like who sings it. So, all right. Well, there we go. Walkout songs are done. I like them, though. I think that's two new songs that we have introduced to the show now. So, all right. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. Hopefully you check these guys out on social media. An incredible journey these two are on. And it's not a selfish thing whatsoever. It's about helping the youth. And so definitely check out Lead. I'm sorry, Kelly. Lead.org.
LeadCenterForYouth.org.
Okay, there we go. I got that right. All right, well, very cool. So thank you very much. Follow us on all the social medias. I think we're starting to get the hang of TikTok a little bit. Jen, we're up over like 10,000 likes now, which is a big deal. I don't know. I made it a big deal in our house. So I was like, yes, we did it. But, anyway, but thank you guys so much for joining us. If you got a superstar player you'd like to hear on our show, feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to have them. So, but until next time, guys.
Bring up the slide.
They don't remember.
They don't.
I threw them off
that was
with
like
the walkout
10
song.
minutes ago. That was like 10 minutes ago.
You get the clear thing. What is it bringing in for the slide?
We will catch you on the slide.
We will catch you on the slide.
Okay, we ready.
Right.
Let's go.
Look, everyone's going to get to hear this, so it's hilarious. Until next time, guys.
We will catch you on the slide.
That's it. That's it.
We thank you for toughing it out and pushing through. Now, let's go teach the world great sportsmanship, leadership, to go inspire someone through your dedication and excitement for the game. Make sure to smash the like and follow button on all social media at The Slide Podcast Show and The Slide Pod on Twitter. Plus, leave us a review and feedback. Until next time, we'll catch ya on the slide.